highest to lowest, which is what I'm hoping we can do to this Rotten Tomatoes score here that is sitting at a 91. Hopefully, we can be honest and we can bring it down to its lowest of what it deserves, of possibly like a 40%, 20%. Hell, this movie was so bad, you can convince me it's a single digit percentage. I have no idea what anybody who saw this movie is saying. It's great, it's amazing. This shit is fucking terrible. This is one of the most boring visually, just looking at it, the directing. The cinematography is flat, it's boring, there's no color to it. Shit, I was watching it, I was like, damn, why are they faces so dark? Why this does not look all that cinematic? This look like, you ever see a Tubi movie? This look like someone at Tubi took a step up in their filmmaking. That's about it. A lot of these shots are flat, boring. There's so many times in this movie where the camera is literally just sitting in a corner while Denzel Washington just does whatever. Or Jeffrey Wright and Denzel Washington have conversations. The cuts in the editing of dialogue scenes and people talking in the continuity is atrocious. There's people in some of these edits, there's people that are in the middle of a conversation over here, but then they put them as if they've been over here. And you're like, what the fuck? There's jokes in the film that I'll spoil this joke. At the beginning of the movie, Denzel Washington drops off his son at a basketball practice. His coach is Rick Fox. They're playing around, horsing around as the young kids do. Rick Fox makes them take a lap, and he says, "What would Jordan think? Wearing the shoes? What would he think?" And they go, "Who's Michael Jordan?" And you go, "Ah." Even though if two people are playing basketball and love basketball, I don't care how old you are, you're gonna know who the fuck Michael Jordan is. But even then, they say, "Who's Michael?" And they like, "Who's Michael?" They make a joke, but then later on in the movie, you go into the son's bedroom. He has a Michael Jordan poster. He has a Michael Jordan poster in his bedroom, wearing Michael Jordan shoes, but don't know who the fuck Michael Jordan is. Your coach is Rick Fox, and he is supposed to be Rick Fox. He is Rick Fox playing Rick Fox. But you don't know who Michael Jordan is? That was when I was looking at this movie like the incompetency is about to be astounding. And it was. There's so many problems here. The story is interesting enough on the surface. You know, Denzel Washington is this music mogul, David King, who stacks and hype and stack records or some shit like that. And his company is taking a little bit of a dip, they haven't been at the top in a while. His son is presumed to be kidnapped. It's not until you learn later that it's not his son that was kidnapped. It was Jeffrey Wright's son that was kidnapped. They got it mistaken for his son, even though, you wouldn't really mistake a random nigga for one of the most biggest music mogul artists, family, son. But even in that dilemma that they give you in the story, it is extremely intriguing. It does invest you. You're like, that's very intriguing. I like where this is going. I'll be engaged in this. It sounds like something that you can do some deep thought with this. The kidnappers was asking for $17.5 million. And when it was David's son, he was ready to give up the money. Now that it's Jeffrey Wright's son, niggas now in a dilemma. Like I said, the music business isn't as lucrative as it used to be. His company is kind of taking a dip. He kind of needs this $17.5 million. And now he has to grip with this situation. Do I give up this money for somebody else's son? He's like my best friend. This is like my godson. But what do I do here? Because I got my son. Denzel Washington isn't the best guy in this movie. And that's what I liked from it. You had some deep pathos in it. Some things that you can really engage on and sink your teeth into emotionally. If this movie was directed better, written better, and acted better. This movie is bad on all these levels. And the music in this movie is I don't know what the hell the score is. The score doesn't fit any of the scenes. And I don't know if it was my movie theater or if it was the actual movie that made the music sound like this, but the music in this movie did not even feel like it was mixed at all. It felt like it was placed on top of the movie. And every one of these scores is strings and pianos, no matter what the situation. Like there's a fucking what do you call it? Action scenes, and it just sounds like a sock music piano riff, and you're just like, what the hell? What are we doing? Denzel Washington in this movie I think he's doing cocaine. I think his character is supposed to be a cocaine addict or a drug addict. I don't know because he has all these weird ticks and things that he does voluntarily, involuntarily as a character in it that you're just like, what are you doing? What's your acting here? You know, he's always running around, doling out boxing shots. I was like, is he a drug addict? Is he autistic? What is happening? He could be either one. That's how weird and unsettling his acting is in this movie. You don't know what the hell he's doing. Jeffrey Wright is also a great actor. These are two great actors, and they both look extremely bad in this movie. I don't know what Spike Lee was telling them, but everybody was acting in a direction in their acting felt like a TV movie. It felt like a Tyler Perry movie. The way everybody was directed and was acting so awkwardly and almost seemed stiff and like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. Other than they got like, it's like they all got like, all right, this is your character, do whatever you want with it. This is your character, do whatever you want with it. And then Spike Lee just said action. It's like Spike Lee came to Denzel and said, hey, this is David King. He's a music mogul. He's a father. He has a toupee fade. Think of what you would think a music mogul father with a toupee fade would do and just act that way. And he never gave him any sort of notes after that. He didn't talk to him. He just said that's the character. Do your thing, Denzel. He did the same thing with Jeffrey. Jeffrey, your character here is he a Muslim? You know, he's a guy with a bad past who's getting on the right path. He's taking up Muslim Islam. Do whatever do what you believe a nigga straight out of the pen and freshly Islamic would do. Just do that. The wife character here, whoever she is, I don't care. She reminded me of a light-skinned Angela Bassett. It seemed like he did the exact same thing for her. Hey, your wife character, do what wife character do. The only reason that Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright in any way kind of does give pretty good performances is because they're really good actors. Like they're amazing actors. So you can probably just give them surface level description of their characters and they can possibly make up a whole entire world and story and mannerisms behind it. You can see that Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright are the best actors in here because they're the only people that do try to bring some form of nuance to their characters in this movie, but because they're trying to bring that form of nuance in a direction is so boring, it just makes them look like they're tweakers. They look so different from everybody else because everybody else in this movie, like I said, are given their descriptions and they're sedated in their characters. These are the only two niggas trying. Mayhem guy from the Allstate commercials in here. Again, he said, hey, you're ambiguously racist white cop, right? You got a bad temper, you're an asshole cop. And then just I do you. And then the rest of you two niggas, the older black man and the older black woman, y'all just cops. Y'all just detectives. Everybody's acting is boring. The direction is boring. The film looks boring. The edits, the cuts that he puts in this movie are perplexing. It's mind-boggling. It will leave you, as some people may say, gobsmacked. The editing that he does with this movie. And there's some of the editing in here is, you know, it's the Spike Lee style of editing, you know, some of it in here. You know, sometimes people say like certain things and they'll have a, cut to that thing. Like they'll talk about they'll talk about an author in here or a writer and they'll just prop up their books and showcase them and then go back to the movie and things like that. These are just, these type of styles in Spike Lee's movies are they're pretty regular, but here it just seemed so just off kilter because this doesn't have any of the Spike Lee style to it. This doesn't have any of the Spike Lee trademarks to it visually or directing style. So when the editing that he usually does come in, it's so awkward and off-putting. They have his dolly shots here. They have all the things that Spike Lee is known for doing. But again, without that flair that he usually showcases, everything just feels weird. I don't want this to come off as a guy who's doing this because I don't like Spike Lee. I love Spike Lee. Okay, I've watched a lot of his movies. I won't say all of his movies. That didn't happen. I've watched a good amount of Spike Lee movies. I've played NBA 2K16. I love it. And this movie felt like the NBA 2K16 cutscenes. I thought ASAP Rocky was a good actor, when you watch something like Dope. But here, Yeah, they give him way too much for him to handle. He just don't have it. They give him whole scenes of him monologuing. He has whole scenes of dialogue. There's scenes where him and Denzel Washington are going back and forth with one another, and you're just like, Denzel Washington, you're giving a weird performance, but god damn it, you're still good. It's just such a stark difference in acting qualities when these two are going back and forth at each other. I don't know, man. I just didn't understand why this movie is getting such high ratings. It's ponderous to me. I'm really am wondering why this is happening, because this is not a 91%. Brother, this movie is almost The Room level bad in the way that it's edited, the way that it's shot, the way that it's acted. This movie can almost be a so bad it's good movie, but it's too boring to even be that. So, with that, I'm giving highest to lowest the newest Spike Lee joint a 2 out of 10. It's really fucking bad. And it refuses to end. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes, but it feels like 5 hours because it just refuses to end at some point. It has like 7 endings. And every time it ends, you're like, well, I guess it's up and you're still going. And then at one point, when it does actually get to the ending, you're like, oh, I forgot you guys even talked about this, because this was like set up at like the first 5 minutes of the movie, a quick little conversation about this. And there's been so much shit that's happened in between that first 5 minutes and now that I forgot that this was even a thing. And you could have ended this movie without bringing this up at all, and I would not have cared because I didn't care when it happened. The girl sings at the end. She's a great singer. I give her that. She's really good. She sings a whole ballad and song, but she only has a piano player with her. But they play the song and it's like strings, and it's like, what's it called, maracas, and there's fucking drums, and there's horns, but there's only the singer and the piano, and you're just like, well, why the hell are there horns and drums and shakers and tambourines? I think it was a tambourine. Why is all these different instruments here when you only brought when it's only you, the singer, and a goddamn pianist? And that was when I fully came to the realization with this movie. I think Denzel Washington is supposed to be autistic, because the way he delivers the last couple of lines at the end of the movie, which you can hear in the trailer. If you can handle the money, if you can handle the thought, if you can handle the stand, if you can handle the memes. I'm literally acting the way he's acting. Like his head is down, his eyes is closed. If you can handle this, and if you handle that, and if you can handle this and then that and that. Oh yeah, his lip is crazy in this movie. I don't know. His top lip is eating his bottom lip now. I don't know what that's about, but there's just the scenes where it's just close up of his face, and he's just like, there is no goodbyes. It's just subscribe and like, comment. I actually don't care on this one if you liked it or dislike it. This is purely a video of hate. So if you hated this movie, let's rant about it together in the comment section. I don't give a fuck to hear any positivity from you niggas.